The second tool is hope. Hope is your number one tool, and hope is confidence. Confidence in God's wisdom and a divine plan. Upon these bumps I am, and this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm in my right and perfect place based on the choices that I've made so far. And I have confidence and patience. And I will allow this experience, and I will not resist it. Order and harmony will be restored. Hope does require patience. Now, we always want to be proactive and not reactive. When we're proactive, we're a bit stronger, and we can use some of the things we've learned. So we want to be proactive, and it's time to go into the toolbox for the third tool this morning, and that is we're going to fuel up the chariot. And we fuel the chariot with love. Love fuels the body, not passionate love, but the love of God we allow to flow through and fuel our chariots. And that gets our bodies and our chariots ready to open. We attune the body. We attune the cells in our body to accept the high vibration of love, because we know love is strong and it's a very fine vibration. And if we don't tune the body to it, it's not going to flow through it. So love is the fuel that lets us do that. When we consciously fill our chariots with faith, hope, and love, the emotions run freely. We can manage fears. We can look at the bumps in the road and say, aha, obstacle. It's an obstacle, and God's wisdom is working here and working in my world. I see these bumps, but you know what? They're just a small patch. I can get over this. I have no fear. I have faith. I'm going to move through these challenges and learn this message. And then I can continue on my path. I have hope. I have confidence in God's wisdom and a divine plan. And I fill my chariot with the fuel of love. And when I'm filled with love, my chariot can repair itself, and more harmonious conditions will come to me. My body begins to receive and accept the tools, and these tools are for our character. These tools are for our spiritual growth, and these tools are for our soul's growth. Now, I'm a baby minister, young minister, you might say. And a couple of months after I was ordained, I was called and asked to do a wedding. Oh, a wedding. Oh, that's really good. Oh, a wedding. That's really scary. But this wedding was in the Atlanta Botanical Gardens. It was a tiny little wedding. And I thanked God. I said, oh, thank you so much for this really small wedding in this beautiful garden setting. And something somewhere inside of me said, you need to be the calm, you need to be the peace, and you need to be the love in this situation. And that's what you must maintain. And so, whenever a fear-based thought came in, I just breathed in and I just opened. I didn't know what I was opening up to, but I knew I wasn't going to be opening up to my own energy. So I just opened up and I let it flow. And the father, who wasn't too keen on his new son-in-law, said to me after the wedding, thank you for being my calm. Thank you for being my peace for my daughter. Well, the second wedding was a really big one. 125 people, black tie affair. It was big. It was in St. Louis, the Washington University. I walked into this chapel. It was 3 stories high. It was decked with, and I went, oh my God, what made me think I could do this? Oh my God, what am I doing here? And I thought, no. And I closed my eyes so nothing around me would distract me. And I let it flow. And I said, I'm prepared, and whatever happens is going to be great. And I filled my body with peace and calm. Wisdom flowed. And I needed wisdom. A couple of crazy things happened. The bride got locked out. We were waiting for her for 10 minutes. I'm come. 125 people are coming. As a side note, so we're back in the hood, and some friends are saying, well, don't you get nervous doing these weddings? You know, you're standing in front of all of these people and everything. And I tell no. I said the situation calls for calm and love and wisdom, and that's what I maintained. And he said, what, can you really do that? Can you really just get rid of your fear? I said, yeah, you can. Now, I didn't tell him how, because he didn't ask how. But I'll tell you how. The how is that I open myself to my higher self. I let my higher self take control. It's the Father within, the Spirit within, that did the work. Me, I was just the vehicle. Now we have another tool. We have that navigation tool on the earth plane. It helps us navigate in the physical. We need it. We're in the physical. We need something to help us with the physical. It is our ego. Our ego helps us see. It helps us discern. It helps us choose. It's a very important tool. But do you want your ego to be driving your chariot? No, we don't want that. But it does serve. Do not be mistaken. It's important. It helps us create in the matter. So when our earthly tools, when our ego decides it wants to jump in the chariot and take control, and we let it, well, we get into a little bit of trouble doing that, don't we? Spirit gave me this awesome, well, you can decide if it's awesome or not. It was awesome for me. Spirit gave me this vision in the meditation. I saw this little elf in my body. It was chattering away. And it was butting in and was tempting to control everything. And it was speaking louder than anything else. And I took 2 fingers and I plucked it out of my body and I put it into timeout. And literally, does anybody remember like Disney, the Disney characters, the original drawings, you know, and you saw that illustrator drawing, and then he picked that thing up and he put it back in the inkwell. Well, that's what it was. This little elf was just this little thing, and he was just scurrying around, and I picked him up, and he's like shaking, no, and I just put him in the corner, and I said, you're staying there until you calm down. I said to that little elf, I love you because you're part of me. So I love you. But your words, they're not serving me. And what they do to my body, oh, that doesn't feel very good either. So you're not coming out until you calm down. Now, I found that when I was in meditation, that little elf was quiet. Or when I went into the silence, that little elf just stood there, twiddling, waiting. And as soon as I came out of the silence, there he was. I can help. And I said, when you and I have work to do together, then I will call you. And he sat quietly, and eventually he calmed down enough, and eventually I had a task, and then I called him. Well, he was so happy to come back and be of some significant help in his opinion. Now I want to tell you that this is a story, this is a children's story that I'm writing, to teach little children how and what the ego is and how it serves and how it doesn't. And the name of the story is The Elf of Myself. And it did help me. It helped me understand beautifully. And to me, the image of me plucking out this little guy and putting him in the corner until he calmed down is priceless.